Introduction. Before I start, ask yourself, do I know what makes the stock market prices go up and down? If you've invested in the stock market without being sure of this answer, by the end of this book you will know. The lack of understanding of how investing in the stock market is why only 20% of investors make money in the stock market. Remember this phrase by Warren Buffett when you invest. Money is made before you buy. Means how are you going to make your money before you spend it? It will save you a lot of time and money. The purpose of me writing this book is to help teach people how to invest in the economy. Economics is the study of how people make decisions. What decisions, you probably are wondering? The decisions that dictate how we live. The number one objective of this country is to create economic growth. So let us focus on the one thing you can do in an economy. Make as much money as you want. I'm going to try to attempt to provide an objective view of the historical trend of the American economy, or what I call America Inc. An economy in which we operate in every day, but only a very few seem to understand. By the end of this book, I hope to have bridged the gap between what you know now and what you should know about investing in an economy. For some time now, this country has operated one way, to seek continuous economic growth that translates into more wealth for those who know the game. Figure 1 represents the value of all the money spent on the U.S. economy from 1929 to most recent year. In 2019, the U.S. economy spent $21.4 trillion. Notice how since the beginning of World War I, 1914, there was economic growth 87 of the last 90 years, as shown in Figure 2, reaching a low point of 23% during the Great Depression of 1929 and a high point of 28% in 1942 during World War II. Those who have learned the game as you are right now have benefited from the economic growth of this country. The easy answer is intentional, systematic oppression of specific groups, but that is a symptom and not the cause. As you're about to realize, there's way more you should know about how this country operates. Figure 1, Figure 2. The source of this data is from 1915 to 2019 in Figure 1 and 2, and it's from the St. Louis Fed. After reading this book, you'll begin to have a clear picture of the country we operate in daily. Just like with any system, having a better understanding of how it functions gives you a higher probability of being successful within it. Robert Kiyosaki once wrote, "The hardest thing to do is to learn things that goes against everything you ever known." So keep an objective and open mind as you read the rest of this book. Tip: be sure to take notes of what you've learned for better understanding and revisit the parts that you do not grasp easily. I'm fully aware of the emotional trauma that this subject has caused through the years. This book is attempting to bring understanding of the American economy and what can be done to capitalize on its economic growth. Using the phrase, "learn the game," is not my intention to be condescending or demean anyone's experiences. Let me be clear. With this book, I'm attempting to empower those who are disenfranchised by the current economic system and not trying to be dismissive or marginalize feelings of systematic oppression. By learning the game, you will go from feeling victim to the economic system to becoming empowered by it. At the time of writing this book, we are in a global pandemic. We have a front seat to seeing what government officials prioritize regarding the economy. By understanding the decisions of the most powerful people in the country, you'll start to make sense of the chaos. One of the unfortunate historic truths with this economic decisions that are being made is the concept that there's no such thing as fairness and equity. For one group of people to thrive, another must suffer. I want to reiterate that the purpose of this book is to inform. This is not a step-by-step historical account of the United States economy. It is a summary of events and decisions that turned the United States into the most dominant economy in the world. Also, I'm attempting to point out where it has failed underserved communities and what those communities can do to live the life they desire. Again, have an open mind when digesting the information you encounter in this book. Why should everyone else make money off the economic decisions this country makes and not you? Being informed on the forces that creates wealth will help you create it for yourself. The better you can identify something, the better you can respond to it. The wealth gap between the wealthy and everyone else is they know the content of this book and how to apply them. At the conclusion of this book, I hope I did a good job in assisting your understanding of the U.S. economy and how you too can benefit from investing in it. One last thing, I want to highlight something especially important. The graph, Figure 2, signals an even more alarming trend: declining economic growth. Communities that are already underserved are on track to further hardships as the years pass. Learning the Game is more than just a book about economic events that created the wealth in this country. It is insight on how to be successful within a capitalist country. This book will teach you how you too can obtain your privilege.